What is the most perfect way to kill someone? It's to be among the victims because no one would suspect that a dead person could also be a killer. And what is the highest level of murder? It's to really kill yourself too. Only in this way can the case remain unsolvable. 8 strangers were invited to a remote island at the same time. None of them would have thought that this was a sinister plot. As the boatman left, he cast an indescribable look at the group. The 8 people arrived at the mansion, invited by a couple named Owen. However, they were only greeted by 2 butlers hired by the Owens. No one knew the true identities or appearances of the Owen couple. The mansion was strange, with a nursery rhyme hung in almost every bedroom. The first line read, 10 little soldiers went out to dine. 1 choked himself, and then there were 9. The soldiers corresponded to these 8 people, plus the 2 butlers. Thinking it was just a simple rhyme, no one paid much attention to it. As dinner time approached, a teacher changed into his evening attire, ready to go downstairs. But an unusual sight at the end of the corridor made him suspicious. Just as he was about to investigate, the suddenly appearing housekeeper stopped him, claiming that it was the staff's quarters, and led the teacher away. Dinner time arrived as scheduled, and the 8 people took their seats. However, the hosts were nowhere to be seen, causing some displeasure among the guests. But when the butler served the delicacies, they became slightly more cheerful. Curiously, there were 10 soldier figurines placed on the dining table, reminding them of the rhyme. The 8 people from various walks of life ate and chatted, not feeling anything amiss until a broadcast threw everyone into a panic. The broadcast revealed each person's murder record. Apart from being curious about how others knew, they were filled with endless fear. Following the voice, they found the basement. But just as they reached the door, a terrified scream came from the kitchen. The butler had to check the situation first. The 8 people discovered that it was a pre-recorded record played through a gramophone. 10 charges were listed, but one person's name didn't match. They suspected this person was behind the scheme. Left with no choice, the man revealed that he was actually a police officer. Due to certain reasons, he had to conceal his identity. Since the butlers had never met the Owen couple, and all communication was through letters, the butler had simply followed the Owens' instructions to play the record at the specified time after dinner. He didn't know the contents of the record either. The panic brought by the charges made the group start to make excuses for themselves. Everyone could find a reasonable explanation to prove their innocence, but only they knew if they were telling the truth. Now, no amount of suspicion would help, so they decided to sleep first and take the boat back in the morning. Suddenly, a young man couldn't breathe, as if something was choking him. He quickly collapsed and died, just as the first line of the rhyme had predicted. With one person dead, how could the rest sleep peacefully now? The movie title, And Then There Were None,